Hey, good afternoon, YouTube. Yes, Rod Hardman here. People, what the hell is going on? Why is the White House planning on sending 275 Special Forces units back over into Iraq after we have done left there? We destabilized that country when we took Saddam Hussein out of power. We knew that was going to happen. We knew that this was going to be an issue that Maliki could not even handle. All right, we already trained Iraqi troops over there to deal with insurgents, to fight their own battles. We don't need to go back there. This is to protect the oil interests for the United States. Screw that bullshit. You know, nobody's screaming for impeachment of Obama because of releasing those 5 terrorists from Guantanamo, and just for 1 American soldier, and the worst of the 5, and yet without congressional approval to do so. But nobody in Congress is screaming for impeachment. What the hell's going on? And now we're talking about sending special forces units back into Iraq? No way. Enough is enough. We spent enough money, enough blood, and enough time in Iraq. We spent over a decade there. What are we going to do? Spend another decade there? We sent in 275 Special Forces units to train Iraqi soldiers to fight again after we'd supposedly done this from the get-go, before we actually pulled out. And like I said, what strategic interest is it to us to go back in there? Yes, the oil. Screw that. Bullshit. We can rely on our own resources here in the United States. We don't have to rely on foreign oil. We don't have to rely on Iraq. We don't have to rely on Afghanistan. We should be pulling our troops back and sending them all home. I, for one, vote against this idea, and any congressman that decides to send Special Forces units or any troops back to Iraq needs to be tossed out on his ear. So I hope you congressmen understand what you're planning on doing, all right, is unnecessary and uncalled for. We don't have the funds, we don't have the money to spend it on another war there, and I don't believe that the American troops should be going back in there and spilling more American blood. Look, like I said, we destabilized that country. We knew we were going to do that, and we knew this was going to happen once we pulled out. And no part of the government can openly and honestly say they didn't know that, because they did know it. George Bush Jr. knew this was going to happen as soon as we pulled out of there. So, tell me, what do you think? What do you think we ought to do? Do you think we need to go back into Iraq? Look, I'm a veteran. All right, as many of my other brothers and sisters that are veterans that have been there, have done their thing over there, all right, and yet possibly facing more time over there, you know, for more soldiers. That's ridiculous. We don't need it. I say let it go. But like I said, weigh in on this. Let me know what you think. You think I'm wrong? You think we need to go back there to protect the oil interest, quote unquote? Screw that. It's not worth it. You know, we need to get rid of a lot of these elites that are in the background here that is pushing this shit. And you know who I'm talking about. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Warburgs, the Bilderberg Group. All these people, all of them need to go. All of them need to be put out of power. We need to go after these fools. These are the people that have caused a lot of havoc here in the United States. We got to stop being the policemen of the world. We got to start policing our own country first before we start thinking about somebody else's country. All right. So anyway, I said my piece on this matter. Please weigh in on this. Let me know what you think. Until next time, this is Rod Hardman. Have a good day. And yes, I'm pissed off about this.